What is up, traders? So tonight we're going to take a look at Aussie yen. It's a trade I took this morning. We're also going to talk a little bit, not a lot, just a little bit about the Fed, as they will be speaking tomorrow. And I can only assume that they're going to be speaking about the elephant in the room, and that is inflationary risk. Now, there is a ton of chatter about this very subject happening right now all across the internet. We're going to take a look at some important levels to look at in a few pairs, not many, and we'll also talk about Bitcoin. All right, what is up, traders? My name is Heath, and this is Trade Talk. So basically, we don't know what the Fed is going to talk about. We have no clue. I mean, there is no way to know. Now, is he going to announce something moderate tomorrow, or is he going to announce yield curve controls? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. We can't predict what the news is going to talk about, but what we can look at are very important levels on the chart. So let's get started. All right, so first and foremost, you are looking at the Aussie yen right now. This is the 8-hour time frame. This was a support level right here, as it was the very last closing price of this bearish candle. So let's go into the 5-minute chart real quick, as I can show you what I was looking at this morning. All right, so here you can see, let me bring up these photos real quick. This is the one that I took right before, or obviously I took the trade, but hang on one second. All right, so let me bring up this picture real quick right here. So this morning at 7:36 a.m., I just simply spoke one word: Aussie yen. All right, and then a couple other of the traders were like, what are you going to be talking about? What are you doing? And I said, I'm going short. All right, so this is the level that I was watching. All right, right here, this 5-minute market structure. You can see that basically at the time that I had spoke that announcement, we were playing around with this thing. Now, this thing traded in this area for a little over an hour, and I basically said, wait for the run up to stop all the quick shorters out, because once they see this, they're going to be jumping in this thing thinking it's going to head lower. So I said the very maximum price that I will be looking to short this thing will be 84.552, which is this level here. I said, however, since there's a lot of build up here, it may just spike up real quick to take everybody out and then head lower. And if that happens, I will as well short, or I will take the short as well right then and there. So let me bring up just a couple pictures. This is the first picture. You can see real quick that I had a target right here. It was aiming at the low of day. Now my target is the dotted blue line, so you can see it's above the low of day, simply because I've been doing this long enough to know that sometimes price doesn't always go and make a new low of day. If it does, it's awesome and it makes the P&L better. However, this is called risk management. So I put my take profit level above the low at day, so that way if we come down into that level, it would be take profit, and if it reverses, I'm okay. You can see right here that it was a 6.68% risk to reward, meaning for every 1% I risked, I made 6.68% on the trade. Excuse me. And you can see right here, this is a picture after the target was hit. I simply moved my stop down to better than break even, and that was it. And this was this area right here. And as you can see, I got stopped out. All right. So I assume the markets are going to be chopping around a little bit into tomorrow, as because of the beginning of this video. The Fed is speaking tomorrow, and we don't know what they're going to say. All right. We don't know what they're going to say. So that was that thing. Let's go look at a few other pairs real quick. Here we go on a 4-hour level. Let's go into a 3-day or a daily. Let's see what we got going on here. So here is the range that the euro dollar is trading in. All right. Basically, I made it from the low of that, and for some reason, TradingView already changed it around, but I'll fix it. All right, so we came down and traded down into this level here on this daily. All right, that's the last time that price had closed that low. That price is 1.18414. You can see we are making higher or lower highs and lower lows. All right, so basically we were looking for this to possibly roll over. It looks to be what is happening. This is your last area of support. You can see you traded down into that area and you did not close below it. So that is your current level of support. All right, this is your current level of resistance. Now, I understand this is these are two daily levels and you are so far trading within that range of the Euro USD. But what we can do is we can go down into a smaller time frame chart and find a decent level. So if I mark this last bearish candle's opening price, all right, you can see we finally tested that, but we have not closed a 4 hour below it. So I will be watching tomorrow morning when I wake up to see is price trading below 1.18852 or is price heading higher. All right, so we don't know what to do, but we can definitely look for these areas, as these areas will give us trading opportunities. You can clearly see the trend line is so far holding on a daily closing basis. If the dollar catches a bid, this thing's going to roll over. Now, something that is also interesting to me is if I go over here to 2021, you can see it down here at the bottom of the chart. This is January the 6th, 2021. We made a high on this market. Now, we have not been back to test this high that we made this year. Since we made this yearly high, we are moving away. So that's pretty important. This is your opening yearly range right here. All right, so basically tomorrow I will be looking for this area right here to see if we get a price testing around that level. All right, now this is a 4 hour level right here. You can see it. This was the last 4 hour candle. Once we made this low, we traded away from it. This was the last bearish candle we had since we traded away from that. So I always expect a bounce from these levels. We did get a small bounce. Now, I'm not expecting price to do anything major for the next few hours, at least until the Fed speaks. And then I expect this thing to start acting crazy depending on what he says. Now, on pound dollar, I have another very, very important level to watch right here. It's this 4 hour last closing 4 hour candle. I'm using the opening price of that 4 hour candle. You can see since we made that, price came back down into it. We have not been able to close a 4 hour candle below it. All right. We even made a higher low here. This is our bottom area. If we get a 4 hour closure below that, we can look for this thing to head lower. However, if we move to the upside, we do have a little bit of resistance we can look for. First area is going to be 1.39252. This level right here, I don't know what this is. Let's get rid of that. And then obviously this level right here, which is just the 1.400, it's just the big figure. So you can see that that level has obviously held as resistance since we came back lower. So this offers up a target if we catch a bid on the pound, right? 1.40174, that is my target. If this thing catches a bid, I would expect at least that stuff to be taken out. And then we will have to wait to see if it wants to roll over from there. Now, I don't know if it's going to go up and I don't know if it's going to go down. But I have a bearish target for this week on the pound. Bearish target is 1.37790. This level right here. Bullish target 1.40174. And that's for the weekly range expansion. All right, so if we go into a weekly time frame, you can see that we have traded lower. This is our bearish target. This is our bullish target. We are in the middle of the range. So price can literally go either directions, but we're going to be all over this thing. So make sure you keep an eye on that. All right, so here we got Bitcoin. We had this all-time high. We did break the old all-time high. All right, now, since we broke out of the all-time high this week, we have had a pullback. All right, so here you can see we have a level, this 8 hour market structure level that has been on the chart. We have had multiple tests of this level, but we have not been able to close an 8 hour candle below this level. and we are catching somewhat of a bid off of this level. Now, I did speak about this level. That level is 54921 spot 61 in Saturday's Crypto Weekly Outlook. You can go check that video out if you wish. But here we go. So right now, I am assuming that Bitcoin is being the brunt of this inflationary risk. I think people are buying Bitcoin instead of gold because gold is what is usually used as an inflationary risk hedge. But as you can see, we have maybe found a bottom here. All right, you are making higher highs and higher lows currently. All right, currently. So this is going to be important moving forward. This is all coming on the bouts of what's about to happen tomorrow when the Fed speaks. Now, if we go look at the TNX, this thing has been on an absolute tear. If we simply just go to, let's say 2021, right here looks like a good level. All right, and we move our cursor up, January 4th. Let's go here because it's the first time we get it. I'm going to get roughly around the low. All right, it's not going to be perfect, but I'll move up. You can see that we have put in a high of 81% since the yearly range open. All right, the only other thing that's had a better move is Bitcoin. All right, Bitcoin has moved. Let's go back to the same thing, 2021. All right, so there's your January low, and we have went roughly up about 113%. So you could see that, yeah, that's got to mean something, right? Of course it means something. Everything that happens in the markets happens for a reason, guys. You have to be able to adjust your trading. You can't just look at these markets and say, well, this usually does this because this always does this. Now you have to be able to change with the markets. Since the first of the year, we have seen Bitcoin on a massive tear. Since the beginning of the year, all right, since the beginning of the year, we have seen the 10-year Treasury note on a massive tear. This is inflationary risk coming in. The DXY is also moving up, and look if you look at the DXY, as I said earlier, since January you made a low, and you have been trading up ever since. So why are the markets acting this way? We can only assume. All right, we can only assume. And then the last thing I talked about, NZD or Aussie NCD, right? I posted that on my chart. This is the reason why. Let me go back to the weekly real quick just to give you guys an explanation. We took out this closing price, this last bullish closing price with this big strong bear or bullish candle. We are trading lower. All right, we go look at a daily chart. We had a bearish engulfing, almost a bearish engulfing, aka outside day candle, and so far we have not been able to close a daily candle below this level. This daily bearish candle's opening price, that level is 1.07672. So if this daily closed below it, then I will be expecting this price to get tested, and then we will have to wait and see. But I am looking for this ultimately to head higher, and I absolutely could be wrong. But my target to the bullish side is 1.08426, simply the wick of this candle right there. All right, I am expecting this thing to find support as it has already the last 2 days. It's just been kind of chopping around in a range as this pair tends to do sometimes. However, it is making itself into a tighter range. If I throw a trend line on the low of this candle, the low of that candle, and then another trend line on the high of that candle and the high of that candle, you can clearly see that we are forming a range, and we will be breaking out of this range pretty soon. All right, so I'm still bullish on this, and I still will be looking for bullish targets unless we get this daily closure below these two levels. All right, if we close the daily below this top level, the top one at 1.07672, I will hold back. If we get a closure below this level at 1.07503, I will be done with this trade altogether. I will no longer be watching it. So I hope this helps, guys. Like I said, don't try to anticipate what the Fed is going to say. find some levels on your chart, and then just watch those levels. See how price reacts around those levels and see if it becomes a trading opportunity or not. I can promise you one thing, even if we don't catch a trade tomorrow, it will set the tone for the rest of the week. So if you haven't so far, make sure you subscribe, hit that like button, and we will talk to you the next time. So trade safe, trade smart, and happy trading.